This goes out to all the women in the world, especially her. You know it don't even matter your age, don't even matter your color. Your fellas, I ain't forget about y'all. This is for everybody that like things. Just listen to what I'm saying and do it and take a chance. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. Just get on the floor like I said before. Y'all remember that down low? Just put a little dip with it. Now roll those hips with it. Pop it, push it, rock it, roll it. Can't control it, I come hold it. It's all in fun, so take a chance. Just get on the floor and do that dance, y'all. I know you like it, so don't try to fight it. Turn around, baby, let me see you from the back. Yeah, I like it like that. Get up now, roll those hips. Drop down, double up on those dips. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. Back again with the second verse. It's all clean, so I'm not gonna curse. Drop a bass like a bad habit. Love all women, cause I gotta have it. Coming at y'all in stereo. I'm riding that thing like a rodeo. Hang on, baby, cause the ride is rough, and I got my girls in the front. Now and later, just bumping that rump. Raise it up, let me see that ground. Slap it, girl, make it jiggle around. Round and round that rump goes. Where it stop, yo, no one knows, yeah. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind.
Well, all right, y'all. All right, y'all. If you ain't dipping, you must be tripping. If you ain't doing it down low, you got to go. To the people that moving slow, just moving slow. Yo, DJ, pump it up some more.
It's off to the show in a limo. Before the show, I gotta get that dough. Pay them girls what they work. Slip that money under that skirt. Take it off, baby, let me see. You might get a little more lip G-string, having oh so much fun. Playing that side between them buns. Shawty got it going on like Marvin. Teasing me and she know I'm starving. Lick you up, then lick you down. I ain't finished, girl, turn around. Lick you up and down your back, cause I'm that freak, I'm freaky like that. Freak nasty, wanna see, can y'all do this right? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put yours, then I put mine. Then we can dip down low and roll and grind. I'm setting it off to another level. You digging freak nasty without a shovel? This is my world. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. So what's up, yo DJ? When the party's getting slow, join this jam and watch that flow get taken over like a 94. When I have the whole world getting down low. New Orleans born, ATL living. Freak nasty is what I'm giving. My juice is sweet like Georgia peaches. Women suck it up like leeches. It feels so good, you must admit you like this. Yeah, y'all know the song. So come on, won't you sing it? I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip.
Deliver me from mine enemies, O my God. Defend me from them that rise up against me. Deliver me from the workers of iniquity, and save me from bloody men. The mighty are gathered against me. Awake to help me, and behold.
All right, chat. How's everybody doing? Been a little over a week. Bit of a busy week. Started work. The old man had some health issues. You know, shit like that. But I wanted to stream because there's something I wanted to talk about. I felt like shitting on Eric July. Let's go ahead and do some Windows capture. Okay. Chad says, congratulations on the job. Well, thank you. It's just part-time, but it's something. My God, I swear somehow I got fucking blacklisted, and I don't know how the fuck that happened. I just do blue-collar work. That kind of shit doesn't usually happen in blue-collar work. I mean, did I mouth off about Israel too much online or something? Make too many Indian jokes? But I actually, with this place, I finally, because I had a buddy that worked there, and he was like, oh, they need people. And it's like, I apply, and I just get an automatic, basically, rejection. I finally, through him, got the email address of a fucking HR lady, and just directly was like, hey, could you at least read my fucking resume before you tell me to fuck off? And that's how I ended up getting an interview. I don't know. Who knows, but I guess it was that old boomer thing. You gotta just go in and firm handshake. Gotta beg for a job that's usually not even a particularly good one. But no, let's see what Actual Eye's up to, because he's moving differently, chat. He's got some big things coming. You don't even know. Alright. The haters try to stop him, but he's moving differently. So, let's see. This was 11 days ago he announced this. Pardon me. Belching like DSP over here. McFarlane Toys, guys. He's in with the big names. We'll talk about that. Brand new toy line. It's one toy. Rippaverse Primeval. Why is it Primeval? I don't fucking know. Because 90 IQ Eric thought it sounded cool. All right, open like a NECA figure too. That's great. Comes with nothing, by the way. It comes with like a couple of hands and a couple of heads. Hands up, don't shoot. Neither of the heads look anything alike. Like hairstyle, okay, fine, but like neither of them look like the same fucking person. So 7-inch scale articulation, 22 moving parts. That's not that fucking great as far as articulation goes. That is literally just standard action figure articulation. Now that we're looking at it from the side. Got joints at the shoulders. I don't think it's a butterfly joint. But just basic joint at the shoulder. I know it looks like maybe an ab crunch. Probably some, the head's probably articulated. Wrists, elbows, double joints at elbows and knees. Again, standard shit for like 25 fucking years of action figures. $40 for this fucking thing, by the way. There's no base. There's no comic. There's none of that shit. I mean, like, fucking NECA is like 35. And they come with usually more shit. And the sculpt is usually way better. There's some QC issues with NECA. But the sculpt is usually great. If it doesn't fucking break on you, it's great. And it's shit you've heard of that you care about, like movies and stuff like that. They do a lot of turtle shit, that kind of thing. Five-panel display box. I don't really even know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. But whatever. I mean, it's a display box. It's an open window display box. But I don't know what the 5 panels are. There 5 comic panels on it somewhere? I didn't see them. This is such nothing. Again, I mean, the articulation's fine. I'm sure it's decently, but again, it's nothing that like your typical Marvel or DC toy wouldn't have. I mean, none of this is what I would call any kind of really impressive levels of articulation. You know, it doesn't come with anything. Like no weapons or nothing. You know, he doesn't come with a banana or a fake $20 bill. I mean, all joking aside, like a street sign, like a stop sign he ripped out of the ground or something, used as a weapon. I don't know exactly what his fucking powers are. I read Isom 1, like, and when I say number 1, by the way, if you haven't read it, it's more like a trade paperback than a single issue comic. It's substantial, but I read the first one. I couldn't tell you any fucking thing about him. I want to say he's about like at a Luke Cage level of strength. I want to say Isom is very much like dollar. What I get with Isom is that Eric July is going for like dollar store Luke Cage. This is the most generic ass fucking costume. With the cross. It's like a Bible Man side character. Alright, so surely Eric has made $1 million with this. Right, chat? Now it gives action. Buy one and get 13.55% off your next Carnival cruise. Well, that's awesome. It's a great deal. Well, surely he sold a whole bunch, right? Because remember, I mean, Rippaverse was hot shit for a while. I was told numerous times by numerous grifters that it was a fucking future of comics. In fact, it even branched off of Comicsgate. Because Ethan Van Sciver wasn't kissing his ass enough and it became Iron Age or something. By the way, all this shit is Comicsgate. Ask anyone that's not involved in this. Isom, Common America, Cyberfrog, Liam Gray's shit, Yellow Flash's shit. It's all Comicsgate. They don't fight. Nobody knows any of these infighting distinctions outside of people that pay attention to this shit. I assure you, if you go to a Normie Comic Discord, Normie Comic YouTube, it's all Comicsgate. But whatever. Remember, this guy, he made $1 bajillion off of grifters and probably Glenn Beck. With the first. Now, there's been dips in Isom. Number 2 didn't sell as well as number 1. Number 3 was a significant dip off, but he's still moving some fucking books, you know. Surely, this $40 figure, he's moved some, right? Let's check in. Let's check in. Over at his Indiegogo, because again, everything has to be crowdfunded. You can't just buy anything from these fucking grifters. Even after they make $1 million, you still got to crowdfund their next fucking ordeal. $348 figures sold. Why does that amount to $23,000? What? I mean, hang on a second. Let's do a little math, shall we? You know, I'm retarded. I went to public school, so. Divided by. Okay, so that's actually an average of $68 and 0.3419, whatever. We'll call it 69, because nice. So there are deluxe packages in this, so I guess some people, like, he still hasn't unloaded all of his fucking statues and shit like that, so I guess some people went with that. 348 action figures sold. This has been 11 days now. he did a deal with Todd McFarlane Toys. Now, generally, I'm not an expert on this shit, but from what I do know, maybe I'm a little wrong, but from what I do know, generally, when McFarlane Toys wants to make toys of X, Y, and Z, he has to pay for the license. I believe that's what he did with DC. I believe that's what he did with Ninja Turtles to make a new line based on the IDW comics. Whoever owns this property, ultimately ultimately Warner Brothers and Viacom in these two instances, he has to get the permission from the license holders. There's usually some stipulations, some guidelines you have to follow. Maybe some profit sharing, almost always. But generally, whoever is purchasing the license is the one that goes out on the limb. This isn't a case like that. Todd McFarlane did not seek out Eric July and like, I gotta get on this hot Isom fucking train. Eric July went to Todd McFarlane Toys and fucking paid him to do this, which virtually anyone with enough money could do. Yeah, this isn't a case where Todd McFarlane wanted to work with Eric July. I heard the joke somewhere that Todd loves Eric so much he asked for an autograph on $1 million check. This isn't listed anywhere on McFarlane Toys' website, by the way. He is using McFarlane Toys to make this. He's using their dies. Some people have pointed out, it looks like some of these are leftover parts from some of his DC figures because he recently lost the DC license. So, okay, fine. He's an indie guy. He had to go, like, Todd didn't come to him. He had to go to Todd. Fine. When you make these action figures, you have to make a certain amount, or the factory isn't going to fucking do it. You know what I mean? Todd's not going to do it. Almost certainly, Eric has ordered at least 5,000 of these fucking things. That's a low estimate. It's probably, if I had to guess, probably closer to 10 or 20K. And I want to reiterate, he sold 348 of these. If he doesn't abort this, or doesn't back out of this, or his fortunes don't turn around significantly, like Glenn Beck decides to buy them off of him or something, which I think the Glenn Beck money is dried up. This is it. This is probably the last fucking straw for this company. We are now in the Act 3 of Eric's recreation of MC Hammer's Behind the Music. If you used to watch VH1. Eric made a shit ton of money. Rather than reinvest that into the company in a way that people didn't have to crowdfund shit from him anymore. He just hired a bunch of retards to make more garbage. And to kiss his ass. Chat says they just put Black Dynamite's head on Mr. Terrific's body. Pull the string for iconic voice lines like, "Where the white women at?" and "Mirrors and magnets are the man's illusions. Yakub's descendants will fall." This is probably the end of Eric July's shit here. Like, this is bad news for him. You know, EVS back when he first started doing the modern Cyberfrog, when it was still really, really hot, he crowdfunded figures, and I have one now, and it's quite nice. I got the 90s Cyberfrog. I liked it quite a bit. And I got one of the fucking figures, and it's quite nice. But for one thing, he did variants. You know, there's the 90s style, there's the modern style, slight color changes. There's like a charged up blue electric variant. There's a blood splattered variant because, you know, you got to do paint variants to try and get, you know, he only had like 3 figures in the line. So he did a bunch of paint variants and shit. Isom, there's none of that. There's one fucking figure, period. Chad says, deep down, Todd McFarlane must be too embarrassed of being associated with Isom and Ripper vs. General to show his figure on his website. There probably is a little bit of that. Make no mistake, though, Todd is a whore. If this shit was genuinely popular, Todd would be sucking his dick. Chad says, remember what Medicare said? E-celebs peak after about 5 years. It's been that long. I guess it has with this fucking shit. Longer. Good God, I think it's been like 7 years or some shit that I've been hearing about this dumb horse shit. I've turned around on EVS. I was really hard on Ethan Van Sciver because I really hated all this Comicsgate shit from the get-go. I don't think comics need to be crowdfunded. I still don't, by the way. That's one criticism I still have at Ethan. You know, he's made millions of dollars at this. By his own admission, he says he's made like $10 million. I don't know if that's true. That's what he says. If that's indeed the case, there's no reason that you should still be having to shell out $25 to pre-order a single issue comic that comes out in a year and a half through crowdfunding. It shouldn't be the case. Speaking as a consumer, I don't think that's really acceptable. You know, maybe I don't know all the business ins and out, but as a consumer, it doesn't seem necessary. But Cyberfrog's a real fucking comic. Again, I read the 90s shit in a collection. Fucking rules. It's very 90s. It's very TMNT-ish, a little Spawn-ish, but it's good. His modern stuff looks good. Yeah, the crowdfund model I think is I don't want to say scam, but I think it's sticking up the customer's ass a little bit. But you know, Eric July puts his stuff out faster than EVS. Well, it doesn't matter if Eric July's just shitting in your mouth. Like, so I kind of turned around on EVS a bit. I don't think he's, I'm not calling him Grift Lantern anymore. He's a bit of a dick, but he's kind of a charming dick. Watch some of his live streams. They're quite funny. And again, he's actually talented. I mean, before all this Comicsgate shit, you know, he along with Jeff Jones, probably more Jeff Jones than EVS, if we're being honest, but along with Jeff Jones, he revitalized Green Lantern. You know, the different color lanterns and shit, it was all him and Jeff Jones. You know, he's actually produced comics people fucking know about. Like, characters he's co-created have been in movies and video games and cartoons and whatnot. Jet says, I knew he was done when Kino Casino stopped pretending like Eric July to own EVS. Yeah, that was hilarious. When the Kino Casino and Medicare were like, oh, Eric July's a great guy, just because they were mad at Ethan Van Sciver. And they weren't even really mad at Ethan Van Sciver. They just hated Dick Masterson, who's friends with Ethan Van Sciver. It's all really gay, mean girl high school clique bullshit with them. But yeah, even they don't fucking pimp Eric July's dumb shit anymore, because it's fucking garbage. I had people in my fucking Discord for the same reason be like, what's your problem with Eric July? I'm like, because he's shitting things up. Like, he's producing garbage that's shitting up the fucking comic book industry. So yeah, this might be the end of him. I hope so. Fuck him. You know. Had to fucking see articles from like The Blaze about how Eric July's the next Stan Lee and shit. It's like, it was ridiculous. But yeah, he's putting out a figure, guys. For $40, you can get yourself an Isom figure. I don't know if he really did order, and it again looks like he did. Let's go back to this. Let's see. By the way, it's called Primeval Isom. because he did indeed, when he settled with that charity or that Christian ministry that was named Isom, he did have to like start putting things in front of Isom. Chat says, does it come with an ankle monitor? I don't think it does. Maybe it should come with that Yari chick that's also in the Ripperverse, where it's some blonde fucking Wonder Woman ripoff. Should call it the Black 2-pack. Maybe his customers would eat that fucking shit up. I don't know. I love when when that one retarded autist like went to the Ripperverse meetup and like handed out bunny stickers or whatever, and Eric July called the cops, even though he was saying like pull up. I legitimately had people in my chat being like, "Oh, you're just supporting this N-word behavior of Riley." I'm like, Eric said pull up, and somebody pulled up, and then he called the cops like a bitch. It's like, no, you. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm not the one. I'm not the one simping for the 90 IQ fucking Dindu that everyone told could write. Told him he could write. So some of the perks you could get here. Chat says, let's be real, Comics Hate business model is constantly bitching and moaning about Marvel and DC going woke in their streams so they can provide fans a convenient alternative. Again, I only just started watching EBS's streams. He doesn't look like he does that as much. You know, he defends, like, comic movies when he thinks they're good, that kind of shit. He'll take contrarian fucking views on that kind of shit. And it just looks like he wants people to read his fucking creator-owned comic, which looks good. Again, the 90s stuff is good. I would like to read the modern stuff. I just don't want to... I want to spend $25 on a single-issue comic that'll come out in 2 years. You know, if he actually gets shit finished and puts out a collection of the modern stuff, I'd love to get it. But anyways, we got, let's look at some of the, Isom figure, just a regular good old figure, $40. Again, that's like price slightly higher than a NECA figure that comes with more shit and is a figure of something you know something about. Isom figure signature edition Ripperverse Primeval McFarlane toys. You always got to put McFarlane toys in there. That's $80. Basically, it's the same fucking figure. He signed it. Let's see. Isom figure collector's pack. I don't even really understand what the fuck this is. $112. It looks like it's just two fucking it's just two fucking figures. Oh, for $295 you can get like trading cards and fucking the statue that he has yet to unload. So this is all just a whole bunch of horse shit. Chat says the bottom has fallen out of the anti-woke stuff. Daily Wire is practically gone. Well, good. Okay, let's see. I want to see what his stretch goals are. Here we go. I'm just going to read this shit. We don't need to screen cap everything. Okay, so, if he sells 2,000 figures, which he won't. 2,000 figures sold Primeval Future revealed. At 2,000 figures sold, we will unveil the next potential characters in the Ripperverse Primeval line. Get your first look at who might be coming to the collection. So he won't even... He is not... At 2,000 figures sold, he's not even promising to make more figures. He will show you pictures of other characters he might do if he sells 2,000 figures. Which... is about as likely as me hitting the Powerball and the Mega Millions this weekend. At 5,000 figures sold, another thing that won't fucking happen, the next figure will actually be greenlit. Probably his blonde Wonder Woman. Let's see. When we hit 5,000, we'll officially greenlight production for the next Primeval figure. You made this line possible and helped bring more heroes and villains to life. Maybe we'll have the iconic 3D asset couch. It'll be like a vehicle. At 10,000 figures sold, third figure goes live. 10,000 figures sold. We're keeping momentum going strong. That third figure in the Rippaverse Primeval line will be greenlit. Sold out. So if we sell out, if the Isom figure sells out, we're going even bigger. A fourth figure will be greenlit. And we'll reveal a brand new figure line within the Rippaverse universe. This is just the beginning. So if I'm to understand this, assuming that he's not just really retarded when he wrote this up, that means that 2,000 figures sold isn't sold out. 5,000 figures sold isn't sold out. And apparently 10,000 figures sold isn't sold out. So if that's accurate, that means that Eric commissioned or ordered or whatever, I'm going to say probably 15K, if not 20. So let's say it's 15. Let's say it's 10,001. Because again, 10,000 figures isn't sold out. So let's say it's 10,001. It's probably 15 or 20. Let's say it's 10,001. He sold 348. He sold 348. Got a bit of a ways to go, chat. This collection ends on November 21st. He's got time. But I don't think he has momentum. This could honestly destroy Rippaverse. And thank God. Good enough. Chat says, at least DC has been putting out some good comics worth reading in the last several months, which is good for us comic fans. But the Comicsgate clique never talks about it. Gee, I wonder why. I mean, I get part of it. Like, they are in competition and shit. But it's like, again, I'll defend EVS here. Because, like, he tells you, hey, this is why you should buy Cyberfrog. And he tells you that, at least when I watch in the streams, without telling me it's based or whatever, or telling me that it owns Disney or it owns Marvel or whatever. All Eric can tell you is buy my dog shit, poorly written comic because it'll somehow punish Disney. Are you mad about how Star Wars is bad now, even though really it was bad for 20 years before Disney bought it? Well, then you should buy my dog shit figure because I gotta sell at least 10,001 of them. I don't believe you can order 10,001, so I'm gonna say at least 11,000. Chat says Fantastic Four is apparently a flop. Rough month for Cape Shoot. Yeah, Superman did really well though. I mean, in all fairness, the last two, like, no Fantastic Four movie really set the world on fire. Superman did well, though. And it was good. I haven't seen Fantastic Four yet. I've just been all the shit with the old man and the new job and all. Plus, to be honest, if I was going to go to movies right now, I think I want to see Naked Gun. Or want to see Weapons before I see fucking Fantastic Four. I would probably see Weapons after those two. If I was going to go see 3 movies this weekend, I suppose Fantastic Four would be number 3. Although, maybe I'd rather just go see Superman again. I don't know. So maybe it would be number 4. Probably number 3, though. I really hope this is the fucking end of Eric July's fucking dumb shit. Let's see. There was another video I think he had up. Oh, here's something, guys. Oh boy. I don't know. Maybe. Oh boy. Apparently, Methrotic, let's see. Well, it looks like he sold some books on it, but okay, so apparently, good God, we're gonna watch this. So you could go ahead and pre-order the Nerdrotic life story chat. Ew! Ew! Oh. He really took his, like, old fucking kid photos and AI. He ran them through Grok to fucking animate them. Ew. You soulless sack of shit. Oh my God. Is that your dad? If he's still alive, I hope he came to your house and beat you with a fucking belt for this. Oh, it's so creepy. Ah. So when did you start selling meth? Are we gonna get animations of your fucking pictures of you selling meth? Oh God, this is also. Oh. This guy has no fucking soul. Was he bombing? Was this his terrorist face? What are we looking at? Oh, he animated. Oh, he animated his mug. Ew. So much. Undertow used to like send me like links to this, like thinking it was brought by Allie, and I'm like, ew. My favorite Friday Night's Tight story is that one time he had Gavin McAnus on, and you know Gavin's always like shitting on nerd stuff to try and prove that he's a real man because it chases away the gay thoughts. So Gavin pulled out his little pecker and started taking a leak, like right there on the table, to get the channel banned. Oh.
Time has come, they are finally here. Oh, hail Friday night. When I feel
Gross. Everything about that made me feel gross. Exactly, brother. Ew. What's that? Ah. Well, this one did make its fucking okay. So a $50,000 dollar pre-order. He made 132K and some 134K and some change. Sold 2,800 books. Just under 2,744. Oh man, can you? Imagine like, you know what this is? This is like when like people assumed you were into the Big Bang Theory because you like nerd shit and you're like, actually, ew. This is just like kind of right wing Big Bang Theory in that regard, because it's like, oh, you comics, you gotta watch Nerdrotic, you gotta watch a meth head. Just repeat buzzwords about MCU, Star Wars is dead, over and over and over again. While Chrissy Mayer pretends to know anything they're talking about. Gross. That's disgusting, man. Animating your fucking family photos with AI. Ugh. Okay, it says at least Neurotic took a break from ranting about Disney is dying for the millionth time to write a book. Did he? Maybe he just had Grok do it. Grok, tell a story of how I used to sell meth. And now I sell brain rot on YouTube. Okay, let's see. So, Rippaverse also put out a omnibus of the first 3 years worth of Rippaverse. This one, oh god, this one's made it 62,000, but it only sold 434 books. Again, okay, let's do some math here. Let's do some math, chat. We're gonna see if the math is mathing. 6, 2, 5, 3, 4. 4. Good God, how okay? So that's an average of $144 and 0.0875 blah 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 blah. So we'll just round all the way up to 145. How? It's $150 omnibus? Well, wait a second. The cheapest one is $150. Okay? You followed me there, chat. I just did the math. And the average that a person spent on this campaign is 144.0875576,037. So we have an average of, rounded up, $144.09 spent by the average person. How does the average end up smaller than the cheapest thing you could buy? I got a screen share because I want to make sure everybody understands I'm not bullshitting here. Okay. Because maybe I'm seeing this wrong here. All right. So, 434 books sold. Total sales, $62,534. $62,534 divided by 434. My little calculator here is 144.08 blah 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 blah. Whole bunch of numbers. Rounded up. $144.09. How does that end up at the average price that people have bought when 150 is the cheapest fucking thing available in this campaign. Yes, Chad, $150 isn't that fucking bad for a big hardcover omnibus. I know. It's bad because it's fucking Rippaverse and it should be like 150 cents. But yeah, there's... Trust me, I can't remember the last time I've paid full price for one, but omnibuses are spicy. Something's a little shady here. How do you end up with an average that's less than the cheapest thing you could buy? I mean, don't all 434 of these people have to have spent at least $150 at least, if not one of these ridiculous fucking $626? I don't know what the fuck you're doing there. Get it signed for a mere $40 more. How does that happen? How the fuck does that happen? That is fucking suspicious. The math ain't mathin', chat. You know, it's been a joke that this shit... God, Rippaverse Omnibus. Imagine, like, you're owning a comic... I'm just trying to think, like, if I still had the stand at the fucking... at my flea market. I'm selling shit at cons. Like, I buy a collection, it's got this fucking brick in it. Aside from the fact that I would probably have a blast going through it with my buddies at the stand, we would be having a fucking blast. Like, reading Eric's dog shit writing and making sense of it. It would be like getting a fucking... like a Youngblood omnibus and shit. It's just be like... the way you would pick apart the art in a Youngblood omnibus, although the writing is also dog shit in it, is the way you'd pick apart the fucking writing in the, and also the 3DS art. So I guess also the art. That's interesting. How do you end up with an average that's less than the cheapest thing you could buy? I mean, we went over the figures, you know, and the cheapest one was 40, and we ended up in an average of just under 69 bucks. Nice, I know. But I don't see any discounts or anything. How do you end up with an average of $144.09, rounded up? When 150 is supposedly the cheapest buy-in for this campaign. I bet if you opened up the fucking books, there's some really funky shit going on in Rippaverse. I mean, probably angel investors, like, I know Glenn Beck and The Blaze have thrown their lot in with them and shit. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up because we've been going on for about 50 minutes. And I don't know have any super chats yet. It's late, though. Not that many people are watching. So, tomorrow night, or not tomorrow night, I guess technically tomorrow night because it's 12. It's 12:20. Wednesday night, around 8 p.m. I'm planning to stream with Liam over on his channel. So if you like comics, you've been sticking it around for this stream. Chet says the Green Arrow omnibus were cheaper. Omnibuses will run about 100 to 150, depending on the fucking, like maybe 125. I think those Marvel DC ones I got were 125 a piece. Now I did get a discount because I have a box discount at my comic stand or my comic store because I have a subscription box, and it's something like 20%. It's based on how many books you have, and I think I'm actually maxed. I think it's maxed out at 20. I'd have to look, but my God, I think I actually bought. I bought that first Marvel DC Omnibus and a couple other comics that week that it came out, and my total ended up being a little bit less, I think, than 125. That's how much of a discount I had. But anyways, folks, if you enjoy the content I put out, and I don't know why you would, because it's dog shit. But if you do, you can go ahead and go to streamlabs.com/thebeckloff, paypal.me/thebeckloff, send a donation. And I'll leave a link to the Amazon wishlist down below if you'd like to buy me some of the dumb shit that I like. I don't have Rippaverse Omnibus on there. Because I don't want you to buy that. Oh, I can't remember exactly who it was, but somebody had paid me to review some Star Wars novels, and I did finish the Mace Windu one, so I could probably do a proper review of that one of the next few times I stream. I did start the Luke Skywalker. It's good. Like, I could see why a Star Wars fan would like it. I don't know that I have a lot to say about it. I just don't have any investment in Star Wars. Like, it's just hard to have any emotional investment. It was entertaining, but I guess I enjoyed it in the same way I enjoyed The Mandalorian. Like, I enjoyed it in the moment. Then I kind of, it's better than most Star Wars stuff I've consumed. It's maybe not as good as the original movies, but it's certainly better than the prequels. Certainly better than the Disney slop. I don't know. I feel bad because somebody did pay me a good amount, but I'll try and come up with some real thoughts for it. But it's one of those things where it's hard to review something that's like, eh. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to rave about something you really loved. It's easy to rant about something you hated. But what can you really say when it's like, yeah, it was fine. Anyways, links below if you want to support the channel. That's about it for tonight.